You are listening to GHP Radio, powered by iTrackRadio.com, your independent music source. Fresh, new music, right here on the all-new GHP Radio, your new independent music source.
Enjoy yourself, take your time, kick off your shoes and have a little wine. Maximize your day. Enjoy yourself, slow it down, play with the kids and act like a clown. Throw your blues away, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Ooh, yeah. Enjoy yourself, you know you do. Out on the beach and check out the view. Make the moment last. Enjoy yourself, do your thing. Walk on the grass, swing on the swing. Doesn't matter what you do as long as you enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Ooh.
Do it to the limit till we can't no more. Raise your glass and make a toast.
up the floor. I wanna raise some hell. Let's raise the roof. Do it all night. If we want to, let the wine and the liquor flow. Do it to the limit till we can't no more. Raise your glass and make a toast. Take a sip and lock the door. You know we might not stop when the cups arrive. Can't disturb this groove inside. The lady's got to get my full attention. Don't need no protection from me. The celebration's on me. I'm feeling turned up.
This love is so precious. I just hope that you see it's as high as a mountain and as deep as the sea. Everywhere I go, you are in my heart. Even times when we're apart, you're in my thoughts and you're in my dreams. You're never far away, it seems. My love is deeper, deeper, deeper than the sea. My love is deeper, deeper. This love is so special. I just need you to know. I'll always be near you, wherever you go. And if you ever need me, you know I will be here. I'm always happy when you are near. And should you ever wonder and take your love away from me, it will break my heart. I love you so. Can't you see? My love is deeper, deeper, deeper than the sea. My love is deeper, deeper. My love is deeper than the sea. let me, baby, baby, won't you let me? I'll be all that you need. Baby, just let me be. I know you never had it quite like this. You carry so much on your shoulder. It's time to show you what a real love is. Forget the past, baby, let's move forward. I can give you what you're missing, push you toward your vision. I just wanna be a team, that's just who I am. Gotta show you what I mean. Won't you come with me? Come on and let's get away. Let me please you. Let's get away for the day. And don't you hesitate to say what you wanna do. There's nobody that can give it to you like I do, and I can prove that to you. I just wanna pamper you. Yes, I do. It's all about you. My priority is to be a dream come true. So anytime you need that, I'll do it just for you. Baby, it's all about you. So boy, won't you come with me? Come on and let's get away. Let's get away for the day. And don't you hesitate to say what you wanna do. Baby, won't you let me be? I wanna, you just let me. Baby, if you let me, baby, won't you let me? I wanna be everything you'll ever need. If you let me be, let me be. Oh, let me. Oh, let me be your everything. Let me be everything you ever need. Yeah. If you let me be, baby, if you let me be the one to love. Let me be the one to hold you. Let me be my baby. I used to walk with my head held down. I was down, guess my life had turned around. You saw my pain and became my friend. You were there for me, shared your big heart with me. Deep in your eyes, I could see the love, like the ocean blue. I think I love you, yeah. I never thought I'd be here before. With love so pure, couldn't ask for more. It's not a dream, I opened my eyes, I saw you. Innocently, you came to me. No plans to mean so much to me. Deep in my heart, I had the need for you to lift me up. Oh boy, you fill my cup. See, you came along and you lent a hand. You're more than my friend. See, you understand. I never thought I'd be here before. With love so pure, couldn't ask for more. It's not a dream, I opened my eyes, I saw you. You are my love, you are my light. You are the thing that makes everything alright. when it's not a sunny day. What's that to you? And I choose to drive a fancy car, or an old one I pray will get me far. What's that to you? That's what he wants, what he wants. I was born to stand out from the crowd. Don't you bother me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it now. Free to be me. Free to be me. I understand the pressure to measure up. Don't let them set your center. You're in God's love. Go against the grain. He'll show you the way. You don't have to settle for less, for less. No matter what, don't matter what. You were born to stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, you have to be. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. That's what he wants me to be. I was born to stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Great is God's handiwork. I am his handiwork. I'll stand out from the crowd. As long as he's pleased, don't you bother with me. I'm just saying and I'm shouting it loud. Yeah. Oh, I'm free to be me. One less. One less. One less bell to answer. One less. One less egg to fry. One less man to pick up after. I should be happy, but all I do is cry. Oh, I should be happy. I only know that since he left, my life so
that a star would guide you my way to share with me this special day, where a ribbon's in the sky for our love. If allowed, may I touch your hand, and if pleased, may I once again, so that you too will understand. There's a ribbon in the sky for our love. Do-do-do. Is our ribbon in the sky for our love? You can't lose. With God on our side, we'll find strength in each tear we cry. From now on, it will be you and I, and our ribbon in the sky, a ribbon in the sky for our
Of night soon be gone. Morning light will bring the dawn. When your night's as bright as day, you will know you're on your way. Turn around, you will find endless beauty of your mind. Plant a seed and watch it grow. Now is the time to let your troubles go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. By my faith, the mountain moves. Without your love, what does that prove? All the clever words of truth don't mean a thing if I ain't got you. I need you here, hope you'd see. I dream that you'd be here with me. Hope to find I need to know. Show me the way to let my trouble go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Let it wash over you. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it wash away. Like the river flows, gonna let it go. Now's the time to make things right. Don't give up, keep up the fight. You'll be safe all through the night. When you wake up to the morning light, turn around and you will see what it feels like to be free, 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 free. Let it wash away from you.
Oh boy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of the Indie Live Spot. Hope you all had a great week, and I hope your new year was grand, and I hope everything turned out just like you hoped, and thank you for tuning in today. Of course, we have a wonderful guest today. He's a return guest from a little while back, and we're happy to have him back on the show. And as you can see, Mr. Bassman, Mr. Will Howard's in the house. Help me welcome.
Hey, Will. Glad you're back. Hey.
Yeah, just come off of that strut track, man. It's really nice.
That's
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's been happening, Will?
Hey, just trying to stay creative, trying to stay focused. I live in Chicago, so I'm just trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
And just this time of the year, I usually try to focus on trying to do at least one or two new things, work with one or two new people. It's New Year, the whole New Year, new me. But just like other opportunities and, different collaborations and different things that just come up. Because, you know how it is being a musician. We never know exactly what we have plans.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we don't know exactly what might happen with those plans.
So true. Well, yeah, it's been great. Listening to your music, and like I said, we do stream your music over here on the station, and of course we do have a brand new online 24/7 station now, where we stream music 24/7 now. So outside of this show every week, but yeah, we've been jamming your music over there, and then again, like I said, it's great to have you back on the show. Trying to remember, I can't remember how long ago that was the last time you came on.
I remember it was cold.
Was it cold?
I remember it was cold. I was like, so, I come around when it's cold, because I'm from the cold. All of you guys are warm. All you guys are warm. I'm freezing. So.
I think it was before COVID hit us when you were here last time.
Yeah. Because I was on with the horn player Phil French.
Yeah, Phil French.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, it's been a few years. But if you don't mind me adding, Gary, the radio 24/7 radio is new, but actually you're back.
Well, yeah, we're just back. Yeah. We've been on a break, a little 5-year break from that.
It's been a few years, but actually GHP radio, when I came back to music 12 years ago, you guys were 24/7 then. With your own social network, what it was called, a Ning or something.
Right.
You have all of that. So because technology changes so rapidly, we have to change and adapt, and technology is crazy.
Oh, I tell you, it's fast.
Yeah, it is fast. And thank you for keeping up and for being patient and keeping up. So
Absolutely.
look where you are now. It's nicer, it's better. I love the 24/7 radio station, love hearing the interviews, and and the music and everything. So, and we love hearing Will Howard on GHP Radio.
Yeah.
I appreciate all
Plus,
the independent radio stations.
Yeah, plus it's being simulcast on Facebook also.
No, the show is being simulcast on Facebook. GHP
Yeah,
Radio's not.
No, I was saying the show been simulcast on
That's
Okay.
not what you said.
No,
but yeah.
I'm not going to get into it with him. I'm not even going to. I'm not going to waste my energy.
But that strut is this your latest release?
Well, no, that strut is my latest one. Is a song called the Deluxe. Gary, do you have that? I thought you had it.
Which title?
The Deluxe.
No, I don't have that one. The
What?
Deluxe? No.
Okay, drop the ball. I thought I sent that to you.
I missed that.
Yeah, that's the latest thing.
Now, you did send me one, just remember this past evening. What was that, yesterday?
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
was
that was from 20.
Oh, okay. In the Glow? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I'll go ahead and give you what I have over here. I have the chord that strut where we just got through playing, and of course In the Glow, and then we have Ian's. Is it Ian's Dance?
Yeah.
And then also Trey Bell.
Trey Bell.
Trey Bell. Trey Bell. I didn't think I was pronouncing that correctly, but
It's okay.
It's Haitian Creole.
oh, okay. Thanks for the enlightenment. But yeah, but that's what I have here, and so yeah. But you got your latest. You didn't send that. You did. You said you did send it, but it's probably been a while.
Yeah.
When did you send it?
I sent it to you. I emailed it to you, but I mean, I should have double checked.
Okay.
But yeah, that's my latest song. It's called The Deluxe, and so it's available on all streaming platforms, as they say. So,
Yeah.
Will Howard. It's on YouTube and it's on Spotify, and I'm trying to find the exact link to where you can just like click on it and it's just
Right.
because I thought I had, but I get it just pops up. All this stuff is like when you're doing everything yourself,
Don't I know?
it becomes it almost becomes overwhelming because I mean, just as an experiment. I mean, I've always worked in production. I've always done music production for other people, and I always said that I like not being an artist because you don't have to, you don't have to talk to people. You don't have to do interviews. You can just play. I can just show up and play, or I can just, be in the. But then once you kind of want to take what you do to another level, these days there are so many opportunities for you to do things yourself, but it's a lot of effort. Like that's literally somebody's job.
Yeah.
Doing promo, and I'm not good at promo. I'm not even gonna lie. I need other people to do that. Yeah, it's time consuming.
A lot of work. It is a lot of work.
And, I'm an artist. As Erykah Badu said, I'm sensitive. So I'm not going to cuss because my girl told me not to cuss. But
You hear that, Mac? You hear
What?
that? Did you hear that?
I want to, Mac. That's how I usually.
No, I get it. Doing everything yourself because they tell you, oh, you have to promote yourself. There are all different ways to promote, and you can pay for this service to do it. And when the service is so horrible, I just say I can do battle by myself, and it's a lot cheaper. You know what I mean? But it's very tedious. It can be very tedious and time consuming to think of different ways to, like I see what Gary's doing. He's always pouring into the social network. Here's a clip here. Here's a little bit here. Here's this. And it may not seem like it's time consuming, but it is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
We'll just popped off and froze.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
we were just talking about technology.
yeah. Well,
It-
I'm sure he'll come back soon as he figure out. You know,
Yeah.
if he didn't lose his connection completely.
No, there he is.
There it comes.
He's back.
There you go.
The cracks.
Well, going back, Will, I know Gary usually asks this, but I'm just curious because it's been a few years and we may have forgotten some things. How did you start playing bass? Where did this all start? And how many instruments do you play all together?
Okay, well, my musician story started when I was a young child. I started playing drums first. So my parents were older, so I was the last kid at home. I'm a second marriage surprise bank. And so by the time I came along, you know, everybody else was grown and out the house, so I grew up by myself. So the good thing is that I could get everything. So I want to play drums, and you know, I had a drum set for about 2 weeks, and then my mother was like, "Nah, you can't do that." And then she got me an acoustic guitar, and that I played the acoustic guitar. And then in school band, you know, we had school band, and I was lucky enough that we had a decent music program where I grew up. And I grew up in Chicago Heights, Illinois, which is a suburbs about 20 miles outside of Chicago proper. And I went to school in Park Forest. So we were bussed over. So they had like really good music program. So I started out playing clarinet because I wanted to play snare drum. But you know, school music teachers, they get tired. So they're like, I'm not going to have everybody at every school playing a bunch of different instruments. I'm just going to have, I'm going to have all my clarinet players play here. I'm going to have all of my drummers here, you know, whatever I need. So he needed clarinet players. So I was the Black Benny Goodman for a minute. And I wanted to play alto because that was, you know, like the star player of the whole music program. He played alto and I saw that shiny alto. So I was like, I want to play alto. And he was like, well, if you get good enough on clarinet, you can switch to sax. And he fooled me. He got me though. And I played clarinet like in grade, like from, let's say 4th grade till 8th grade. And then in 8th grade, I had enough. I'm tired, you know, I don't want to play this clarinet. And then they needed a saxophone player. So I played sax. But then in 8th grade, our church got a young pastor. Our family church got a young pastor. And the first thing he said was, I need some drums and I need a bass player. And a guy named Al Hamilton, walked in with a bass. And he started playing. And I heard that. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. But I want to do that. Because I could instantly I could understand it right away. Like it made sense. And you know, and you know, he was kind enough to like just this little kid bothering him. So he let me play, and then he kind of saw that I was a little bit serious, and he talked to my dad. And so my alto got traded in for a bass.
Okay.
And so that's how I started out playing bass. And so I just, you know, I played in church, and then I played in school band, jazz band, like my last couple of years of school. And then I figured out that I wasn't going to be a basketball player. I stopped growing. And, you know, in my family, you go to college. And I was like, well, I don't know what I want to go, you know, I'm going to go to college. And Al had went to American Conservatory of Music in Chicago. And I remember him talking about it. So I decided, well, I want to go there, not knowing nothing about like how you get into, you know, and I had to audition and I got in. So, you know, and I learned, that was great because I learned like traditional jazz repertoire and commercial music. You know, I learned how to be a musician there. So, and then I went to Roosevelt University later, and, you know, that's kind of where I went. So, you know, from church to school to life. So, you know, that post-grad playing life stuff. So, you know,
awesome. When did you start recording? When did you start recording music?
I made my first record with my church choir, Bethlehem Temple, and somebody told me it's somewhere on YouTube. Bethlehem Temple Missionary Baptist Church in Harvey, Illinois. So anybody from Chicago will know where that's at. We made a record when I was 18 years old, which I helped write. I wrote a bunch of the stuff and I produced, because I've always like written music. That was something, you know, I didn't know that you weren't supposed to. So I always kind of made up my own songs. No, you know, I don't know. And I was interested in the process of recording. So I used to read like Mix Magazine. You know, I'd buy those and just look at the studios and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And when I went to college, we had a recording program, like, you know, just very rudimentary. They had a studio. So I kind of learned stuff there. And that's when I started learning about production. And I got interested in that. Nice. So it's kind of been parallel. Mm-hmm. Kind of been parallel. It's almost like a separate thing. Like I had my playing bass, gigging, you know, playing with different people. But then I was also interested in production. So I had, you know, I knew how to use drum machines and program keyboards and stuff like that because I was interested in hip hop, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm not that old and I'm not that young. I always say that I'm middle-aged. So it was that era of hip hop where you could, you know, everybody was just trying to learn how to use the machinery. And if you knew how to do that, then if you could make a beat, then you'd get some type of attention. So I did that, and they didn't even know I played bass a lot of times.
Man, let me ask you this, Will. Man, you didn't have no, you talking about hip hop, you didn't have no street time out there.
I make beats. I ain't gonna shoot nobody to make no beats. Plus,
right. Thank you.
The producers don't get shot. Dr. Dre has never gotten shot.
I'm wondering where
did he send other people to jail for shooting? No, and I am from Chicago Heights, and anybody from Chicago will tell you I'm from Beacon Hill, so that is a thing out here. So I'm not but I'm not a thug. You know, my people, my parents worked too hard. I didn't come. That's not my story. You know, I had to be in the house. I had to be accountable.
You know,
Amen.
I'm just messing with you.
No. You're like, you ain't hard. How do you make it hip hop? How you make it beat? Nah, but I was around a lot. Yeah, I have my hip hop production stories of being in some situations where I'm like, wait, those are really machine. Like y'all really got guns and.
Yeah, I could tell some stories as well.
True.
Oh, okay. You know where I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you.
In fact, one of the first tours I ever did was when I was like 19. There was a group out of Chicago called 10 Train, and which stood for 103rd, which is Roseland. Where actually I live in Roseland now, but they were gangsters. They were like drug dealers and gangsters who chose to start rapping. And we did this. They found out that I actually played bass because they thought that they had to have a band. They didn't realize that people were just going out with DJs. Uh-huh. So they had a band, and let's say we played some questionable there was some questionable situations, you know. But I mean, you know, so I've written for a really long time. In multiple genres, you know, it was always encouraged. But my bass thing has always kind of been almost separate. Like, you know, it's like there are people who know me as a bass player. They don't know that I do production. And there are people who know me on the production and writing side. And they're like, oh, who played bass on that? That's pretty good. I'm like, that's me. And well, how long did that take? And I'm like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And they're like, what? You didn't do that in 5 minutes. Nah. 5 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
All right, Mac, I'm letting you get a word in. You ain't got nothing to say.
His mouth is full.
I know. Bring enough for the rest of the class.
Go ahead, Mac.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Now
That's fine. Well, we'll tell. We everybody heard the first one, that strut. Could you
Mhm.
tell us how did you who wrote this and how did you come about this and who was involved in the project?
That strut is all me. So I wrote it. Literally going back to that because I think that came out in 2021. I was so starting during the pandemic. You know, the shock of the pandemic because I'm a gigging musician. That's what I do. You know, that's how I make money. And so after March 2020, I played my last gig on March the 10th of 2020, and then everything got canceled like that next week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And Joyce, that look on your face, that's exactly the look I had on my face because I was like, what you mean? Yeah, I was like, what you mean everything? And you know, remember they were telling us, oh, it'll be a few weeks, then maybe a month, and then just stuff is just canceled. I'm talking like tours, I'm talking everything. So I was like, oh, okay. So I kind of sat in my house and was depressed like everybody else, you know, the whole weirdness of the pandemic. And I literally didn't want to touch an instrument, like for what? And so just one day I had to move some gear. I had to move my stuff from where I had my studio set up. I had to move it from one part of my place to another just to, you know, move some stuff. And I decided, you know, let me plug this in and, you know, just make sure everything works. And then that led to me making a beat and then making something. And then I was like, well, I'll just make something for me. Like, you know, let me just come up with something. And you know, you consume yourself in the process, you know, because I engineer everything. So, you know, you get into the whole technical, I'm messing, and you try to make it sound really good. And then at the end of the day, you got this song. So I was like, oh, I got this song. Yeah. So, okay, there's one. And then I kind of did that for the next several months. I would do one, you know, the goal was, well, I'm going to finish one song a month. And I was putting them out. Well, I wasn't even really putting them out. And you guys know Sam Hankins.
Yeah.
Sam hit me. I asked Sam to play on something. And Sam was like, and just to go to show you how my two careers are very separate, Sam asked me, oh, who mixed that song that I played on? And I was like, I did. And he's like, you did? Hey, could you mix something for me? Sure, why not? He sends me the track, so I mixed it, and he liked it. And so that also kind of got me into doing more mixing and mastering for other people, because usually I just write. And I did some mixing, but like not with artists that I work with. So I kind of fell into that niche of just mixing and stuff like that. And that got more music out. So then I just started experimenting. Okay, I'm going to write something in this style. I'm going to write something in that style. And so that strut is, I love funk and groove orientated stuff. And I just said, you know what? I want to write something that has a bass line that's sort of like a funk tune from the 70s. And just something you can nod your head to. So, because the space, I think that the space I try to fill with my personal music is I try not to be, like, I'm not a smooth jazz artist, quote unquote.
Right.
Because, you know, there's as some DJs have told me, this isn't smooth jazz. You know, because there's solos and there's bridges and modulation. You know, I write music. And so whatever.
Oh, no, I hate the term smooth jazz. I don't even like that. Well,
I feel like it's a marketing term.
Yeah.
And it's not a genre of music.
No.
So with that particular song, I'm like, you can play this anywhere. You can use it on your smooth jazz station if you want to. But I think that any music that gets people to nod their head,
thank you. Yeah,
it's always going to have an appeal across the So that's what I'm trying to do. It's just, you know,
that's right.
I make music that I would like to listen to.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh-oh, here we go.
You woke up. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, don't let them do you like that, man.
Let's go.
Express yourself.
Yeah, I can't get around it.
Well, hurry up before you forget.
Now, since the pandemic, have you done any touring or what?
Oh yeah, we've been, I've worked, I've been out. I work with a very, very large variety of artists. So the cool thing about coming out of the pandemic was I was really kind of determined to work with people I never worked with before. And some opportunities popped up. And I hate to say it, a lot of opportunities pop up because of COVID, because people will get ready to go on the road or they'll get ready to go do some gigs and their bass player has COVID. And they'll be like, hey, can you come and play? So I had an opportunity to work with a guy named Michael McDermott, who is totally outside of the wheelhouse of what I'm known for. But he does he's sort of like a Bruce Springsteen type thing. So it's like rock music, but like real singer-songwriter, really great song. And I got a chance to do a gig with him out of the blue. His drummer and I have been friends for many years. And he just called me like, hey, you want to do this gig? And, just art, living in Chicago as artists come through town, they call you. So you get to do a lot of different things. So, so it's coming back. It's a little weird these days, though.
Yeah, it changed things. You have
it changed. Some things I thought were going to change for the better. Some things it's the same old. But I think that as musicians, I think we should understand our worth and our value to the community in general. Because that was the thing. When everybody was locked down, we were all sitting in our houses making music for people. And everybody was like, oh, we love you guys. Now you got to pay me. But on the positive.
Well, it's true. I mean, I was called to do it because I do solo and band. And I was called to do, and they said, well, this is a fundraiser, and we were hoping, and I guess they wanted free musician, and I said, okay, this is how I'm going to write it back. Very professional, just said, basically, let me say it in a nutshell, I like to get paid like the catering service. I like to get paid like the people who were doing valet parking. This was a high-end.
I need to turn on my keyboard so I can play some organ behind the sermon you preach.
And I politely suggested, because I was familiar with the fundraiser, and they are people who are very well off. And I said, how about I asked if someone would sponsor me. And a week later, she came back with the money that I asked for. You see, what happens is that we created, and we as musicians, I would admit we're partly responsible for that. But when I go to the doctor's office, he tells me how much it costs. When I go to the grocery store, do I hear some fat cards yet? When I go to the grocery store, they tell me how much the eggs cost, how much the meat costs. When I walk into a restaurant and I look at the menu, they tell me how much it costs. But for some reason, when it comes to musicians, there you go. When it comes to musicians, they think, can you do it for free? Or it's a fundraiser. Oh, this is no. Yeah, there you go, brother. There you go. I wish Chris were here. Because we'd be doing this.
No, that's the truth, though.
It is
and it's partly our fault, because you know what? You can't, the way you play bass, if you're in church, with all due respect, you can get up and do what the usher is doing, but the usher can't get up and do what you're doing.
I've had this very conversation with some people at church. You
don't understand that it took hours per day, and many, many years for you to get that skill. Well, it didn't happen overnight.
Sure.
And I'm studying and everything. So, and that's all I'm saying, that, But what you were talking about, you were gigging musicians, and there's some musicians listening here. What are some tips? Because it looks like you get calls all the time, and you know you've established a reputation not only as a recording artist, and that's wonderful. Your music is great, and as a producer, but as a bassist, and people are calling you. Why do you think they call? I think I know why, but I'd like you to share that and give some tips.
Well, I mean, one of the things, like on my website, I talk about being versatile. I think that one of my main values as a musician is my flexibility and my versatility. So I'm trained, I'm a quote unquote trained jazz musician. That pedagogically, that's a big word I learned this week. I'm trained as a jazz musician. That's how I understand music theory and things like that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I have a degree in jazz and commercial music, so that's what I know. And that allows me to go play pop music. That allows me to play R&B. Church. I grew up playing in church, so I have an ear. You know, so I kind of try to balance the ability to be more intuitive about making music as a bass player. And then, like, I genuinely like different styles of music. Mm-hmm. And that's so I'm not like, you know, I like R&B, but I don't like jazz. Well, I love jazz. I love Latin music. I love all Black music. You know, I always say that, you know, I'm an advocate of Black American music, which is jazz, R&B, soul, gospel, all of that. Right, exactly. All pop music, all of that. And so I try to have a vocabulary. So my vocabulary is broad. I can go in different spaces and code switch musically. So I think that that's why I get a lot, you know, I get the calls I get because people know that I have a skill set that can translate to a bunch of different idioms. And then, because that's how I was, like the guys that I watched when I was coming up, they were playing all different types of gigs. And so I was like, oh, and so you don't know any better. You're like, all right, you know? Mm-hmm. So, you know, and here in Chicago, like, if you want to make a living as a musician, you better know how to play some Duke Ellington. You better know how to play some Shy Lights. You better know how to play some stepper music. You better know how to play some blues. Mm-hmm. And then you better know how to play some reggae. You need to know how to play music that people like.
Yeah.
You know? My question is, I gotta. Now, what do you think about the coin of this phrase? Flip the switch of jazz. What do you think about this called American classical music? Okay, so one of the other things I do, I'm gonna answer your question, Ray. One of the other things I do is I work as an educator. I work with a great guy named Bruce A. Henry. He does a presentation called The Evolution of African American Music. And we work with urban gateways and we go to schools. So we're the people who go to the schools and, you know, teach cultural enrichment to children. Mm-hmm. And my thing is, with that term, I understand why people use the term Black American classical music. But my thing is that you're trying to, that's designating things as terms as high art, which classical music is considered high art. Mm-hmm. And that's because it's culturally, it's Western culture, not to be racist, but it's white culture. Mm-hmm. And white culture is held at this high regard that, oh, you have to call it classical because that means that it has more meaning and it has more legitimacy. They even call classical music legit. Oh, I'm a legit player. The reality is that the music of the diaspora is just as legit. So I don't reject, you know, I get where you're coming from, that it's Black classical music, but it's music of the people. Jazz is folk music that comes from the experience of, especially like jazz. If you didn't have all of the factors that we have as being Black in America and however we ended up here, mm-hmm. then a lot of that is the reason why jazz exists. And Also, remember, in the diaspora, they brought people over here from Africa who had vastly different musical traditions, even within Africa. Africa is a continent. It's not, like it's the one country of Africa where they have one music. They have a bunch of, so the music in Nigeria is different than the music in South Africa, in Kenya, or the Sudan, or all these different places. But when you bring a bunch of people together, we all have certain things in common, which is the drum. There are certain rhythmic things. There are certain things like the pentatonic, using certain types of pentatonics and sextonic scales. So we have 6 and 5 note scales. So that degree did come in handy. I know the word. But
I understand that.
Yeah, and so the thing is, when you spread music out into the diaspora, so the music in the Caribbean that went to Cuba is different than the music that we hear in the United States, because they let them keep drums. They took a lot of our drums away. So but then you go to Brazil where they let them keep it, but there's also the Portuguese and the European influence as far as with the melodies. That's where you have this mismatch. So, like I said, I appreciate what they mean about the classical thing, and it's always cool to go to Symphony Center, wear tuxedos and and look real proper and pay $150 for the ticket and let the guys get, they're being treated the way they should be treated as artists. Right. But it's also cool to go up in a club and eat chicken wings and listen to somebody get that.
I know that's right.
Well, and so that's where I'm at.
Just some down home blues.
Or some fun. Or some fun,
I'm going back to Africa next month, and I'm going to a festival over there that's over in Zanzibar, where there's going to be a lot of African entertainment and stuff like that, from different parts of Africa. It's going to be it. So I get a chance to listen to different music, the sounds and stuff like that, which is what you just got through saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I wrote a song, one of the songs I released is called Little Boy, and it's Afrobeat. And that was my son. The reason I called it Little Boy is because I was working on a beat. I was trying to figure out what direction to go. And my son, who was like probably 11 at the time, he's the critic. So he was just like, on that one, that's the only good beat you made today. and it was like an Afrobeat thing. And so that's what we did with that one. That features Chris Green on saxophone. So. But like that strut, you mentioned, you asked who else was involved with that, Joyce.
Yes,
that's just me. That's me. That's me on guitar. That's me on. I actually play live bass guitar, keys, programmed everything. So.
See, I asked you earlier how many instruments you play. You left the keys out.
Yeah, I play keys. I think we were talking earlier about how you learn how to play keys in school, and. So, like when I was growing up in church, there's some wizards. These people play in the church with no training. They can just play. And I was never like that. So when I got to college, I finally, I had to take piano lessons, and I learned how to play and so I can move around on keys. I've done gigs. I play a lot of keyboard bass, and I've done gigs on keys, but that's not the first, second, or third thing you would call it.
Yeah, I understand. That's why I tell people, I say, you'll never see I play keyboard and website anywhere, because I'm just not that good. I can't walk into a gig and start playing. I can do for the most part on my sax, but not on keys. I'll be real slow. Let me see that chord sheet.
Right.
Okay. Wait a minute. That's an augmented 5. Let me find that.
Right. Hold on. Wait. How does raise that 5th? No, that's the thing. And I'm the same way with guitar. People they think that I play guitar because a lot of guys start out playing guitar before they play bass, and I did, but I didn't play guitar beyond an advanced fundamental level. And I still don't. I got these big sausage fingers. And I play upright too. So it's like,
oh, nice.
The stuff, so it seems really tiny, like these little guitar string. Gary, I don't know how you do it.
Hey, I struggle. I struggle too, man. I'm not really, like I said, I don't really consider myself as a guitarist because I'm not fluent in playing. I only play, simple melodies, nice chord structures and stuff like that, and that's basically it. But I don't get on and rip and do all this fancy stuff because I'm not there.
And the funny thing is, I love guitar. That's like I've had the opportunity to work with people like great jazz guitarist Bobby Broom was one of my teachers in college, and so I've been hearing guys who play at that level, and I had the opportunity to work with the late great Chuck Loeb, and I was a huge fan of Chuck. And, just watching him. Yes, he did. He died.
Wow.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was.
I am
like that.
so late. Did I know that? Okay.
Yeah, cancer.
Yeah, it was cancer.
Yeah, it's a great guy. Man, he was so cool. He was such a talented guy.
Yeah, and I loved his music because he established that sound of his. I mean, when you heard something, you knew it was him.
It was funny because when we did the first gig together, they had sent the song list and we learned the songs and we started running the tunes, and I was like, hey man, I was hoping that we would play, and I started playing a song like off of his first album. He was like, you know that song? And I was like, and we had spoke on the phone, and I was like, no, when I said I'm a fan, I'm a fan. Like, I got your records, I bought them. And so it was cool to get that opportunity, and I've had that opportunity a few times where you get to play with people who are your fans of.
Yeah.
And it's that weird feeling of, I got to play Jamaica Funk with Tom Brown.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm standing next to Tom Brown, like he's playing that first, and I'm looking like, wait a minute, I'm up here playing.
Well, of course.
Yeah, let me pinch myself,
Right.
Wow, that's cool.
You awake? Matt, you awake?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to find the name of the festival. What's his name? Darren Jackson. He was asking me the question. What's the name of what I was looking for?
Oh, okay. In Zanzibar?
Zanzibar.
Yeah.
My significant other sent me. I dropped it in the chat, the live chat of this the Spotify link for you to find the stuff on Spotify.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Kelly, keeping me. Kelly is not my secretary, but she definitely keeps me on point.
Hey, yeah.
Right. She must be special. You set her name on the air.
I did. I did just out myself. I just thought about it.
He kept saying my significant other, and then he went Kelly. I went, oh, okay. You know who you are now, Kelly. It's all good. It's all good.
I get a text message in a minute, like, what are you doing? but you know how it is. It's like, that's the one thing about this artist thing that's interesting to me. It's like your private life, and people are interested in your life. I'm like, I just play bass.
There's some even, mainstream or label artists, major label artists, I should say. Some of them are liberal about their private lives, where others are not.
It's a slippery slope because
it's like, you see
social media. Yeah, social media. I pretty much keep my private life, just in general. I keep my private life private on social media. And it's Kelly with an I.
No, he's gonna correct spelling. Ooh.
Look, I'm looking out for me. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm already in trouble.
That's all right.
No,
we don't have your last name, Kelly. You're safe, and there are a lot of Kellys. Okay, so you're safe.
Right. There you go.
Now, what were you saying?
Right. No, but I'm just saying that, like, with that's the other area as an artist, even as a musician in general, that I'm kind of navigating now, is the whole social media thing, because I'm middle aged. So yeah, we're the people who invented this stuff, but like using it the way that the younger generation use, like there are people who they have complete careers that are based on Instagram and TikTok.
Influencers. And they're doing quite well. Mm-hmm.
That's so true.
I have a bass student. That's what he wants to be.
Wow.
Like I always ask my students when we first get together, like, what is your goal? And I'm thinking, I want to play in a band, or I want to go on tour, I want to make. He was like, well, I want to be a social media influencer on that. Yeah. And I'm just like, okay. Looking it up. What is that?
About that from somebody, and I don't know. I kind of put it on the back burner. I think I still have that email. I just did an email from that company looking for influencers and are looking for.
I got a hard time finding this guy got so many emails about Airbnbs, this and that. Hell, I can't find it.
Yeah, I don't know about being an influencer. I'm already using social media. People who know me on Facebook and other social platforms, I'm using it a lot. And I don't know if it's because they see me using it a lot. They're like, well, maybe you could. I don't know if I'm ready for that, because I'm an artist. I'm a musician promoting my product. Mm-hmm. And why would I try to promote something else that may compete with that? People get tired. Yummy.
It's a part of building an overall brand. So one of the things as an artist is that, because like as much as I'm an artist, I'm also a content creator.
Right.
Because that's how I think about the music, because, I didn't start out like, I want to be an artist as a solo bass player. That's not my thing per se. So it's something that I'm doing. And I look at creating content from just, this is a part of the brand. Part of the brand is also production and doing other things. Also, I have endorsements with some companies, the bassist. Let me big up Sire Bassist. I'm an endorsing artist with Sire. I'm an endorsing artist with SIT Strings. So I have, and that you have to do your social media work. Even if it's just hashtagging some things, that's part of the whole thing of being an artist.
I get it.
Yeah,
but what they want, I guess I need to see if I still got that email so I can read it in more depth to see if I truly understand what they want, and if it could benefit me without taking away from what I'm already doing and branding. Then well, let's put it this way: you have beautiful skin. I'm looking at you here. You have beautiful skin. Mm-hmm. If they wanted you to be an influencer, talk about your skincare regimen, and your music is playing in the background. That's right.
And they'll hashtag Joyce Spencer's music and all of this, and you don't have to pay them. They paying you, or they're giving you product.
There's some way I can.
That's how that works.
Yeah, full-time artists, we're looking for another way to make money all the time without taking away.
Well, because of the stream of money that comes from selling physical product has went down so much, you got to be able to do something else.
Yeah, and it has to be something that's consistent with my branding. I don't want to. We don't want to do anything, that's something that involve something that's illegal or immoral. I'm trying to be politically correct.
Sure. Well, you want something that follows with your values.
Yeah, that's perfectly said.
And the fact that it's not your main, right? And in fact, it's not your main thing. Your main thing is being an artist, so you don't have to do this. So you don't have to take anything or deal with anybody you don't want to. Because. But some of these influencers, I'm like, so that shows up.
Very well. I have a cousin doing extremely well, and they're banking. So I'm not mad at it. Trust me. Whatever you.
Are you guys familiar with Tim Cunningham, saxophone player?
I've heard that name.
Yeah.
You should have Tim on the show. Tim is I worked with Tim. I toured with Tim for like 10 years. So he had a couple albums out on Atlantic, and he's all over the place. And he just put out a new project. But his son, Corbin, and I didn't know this till my 15-year-old, my daughter who's 15 now, he's this big social media, like with millions of subscribers. And he's like, oh yeah, he's doing, and we were talking, and he was like, yeah, Corbin's doing this whole social, he's an influencer, he does this. And I was like, so wait, what does he do? And I looked at it, this boy had millions of followers. And I was like, okay.
Them youngins, they got it.
My oldest daughter is the digital media something for some company. I don't even know what she's doing.
That's how they sell their product. When they have that following, they can sell that to you and say, I can get you X amount of views, and you pay them to put your material in front of their millions. It's very viable business. It's legit.
And it's just like, so the thing is, like, to flip it to music is, like, that's, to be a music influencer is the thing, like, to get in that space. And as an independent artist, that's the part that's kind of hard to navigate. It's like, well,
get it out, guys. Maybe it may be a group effort. Who knows?
Why don't we take a music break? I know you got some more music of a Will.
Yeah, play some music.
Okay. He just broke it.
The program. Like,
figured I just let
music. Let's play some music.
We'll just let you be the host, okay?
Yeah. Just go ahead and just eat you something, then just blurt out whenever you're ready to blurt out.
We got musical Tourette's.
I want you to find that email that I sent to you.
Just picking up food and eating it.
Yeah.
Just ignoring everybody.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry myself.
Okay, G, what do you want to do right now? Look at that. Took another bite.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. Yeah, we can go ahead and get into some more music, and then we'll come back and continue our discussion with our music guest, Mr. Will Howard. And of course, and also, Will, I did find 2 other tracks that I do have besides the 4 that we talked about. Okay. Remember, because you kind of reminded me when you were talking about some of the other tracks, but the one that you mentioned, Little Boy, that we was talking about, that one, and then also Lola Says.
Yeah, so those songs are named after my children. So Little Boy is one of my son's many nicknames, and Lola is my middle child. So.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we'll go ahead and
I see Kelly is in the house.
I know. I'm looking. Wait.
Awesome.
Have to play me in public now.
All right. Well, we'll get into a little bit more of this music, and then we'll be right back. So y'all keep it locked right here on the Indie Live Spot. That is smooth. That was nice. Now we actually played Little Boy too. That's what we just come off of. thought that would be appropriate to play that since we talked a little bit about that, and then of course, excuse me, right before that, Ian's Dance. I like that too.
I dipped into some house music.
Yeah.
I've worked on a lot of house and dance stuff, and so I decided to, because I'm thinking of doing a whole project that's just all house music.
That'd be cool, man. That would be cool.
Like with all live instruments, and just something. Take it back to the root.
I love house music. Yeah, like I said, I like everything too. My background, growing up listening to music, I like so many different genres and stuff. Like I said, I'm pretty much into it all. So, but
but I think that that's the era that we're living in. I don't really know too many people, especially with the younger people, that they're only into one thing.
Right.
I think it's much more normal for people to be into a bunch of different types of music. And so as artists, a lot of times as an artist, you have to filter. That's what people always say. Oh, how many times have you heard an artist say or met somebody where they like, oh, well, you should hear what I really like to do, like unfiltered. They make me suppress what I'm doing. And now, because there's no terrestrial radio like it used to be, just do what you want.
Yeah.
Just do what you want, right.
You'll find an audience. It's out there. It's just getting the music to them, like having people wade through the bajillions of things to come.
Right.
That's why I appreciate this opportunity, because you have like a focused audience of people who can check stuff out. So
Right.
that helps.
Sure.
Well, like somebody told me years ago, keep swinging at that ball, you'll hit it eventually.
It's true.
It takes some of us a little bit longer than others, but that's okay.
It's okay.
Time is important.
Well, that's the thing, as a middle-aged person.
You keep saying that.
I am. I'm proud of. Hey, I'm proud. Hey, I'm proud.
Come on, man.
I'm trying to get my discount. I'm going to the,
ARP and all that. But see,
I'm trying. They won't send me a card.
I know this thing that's on this feed right now. I know this thing out there right now. I'm 73 years old, but don't look it.
You don't crack. You don't crack.
Are you with me?
She's been church finger out.
There's a little place in the top of my head. It's all in my face.
No, that's but I think that's the thing, because I think that there's a gap. That's another thing that I'm kind of interested in, is I think that there's a gap for adults listening to music, because adults are the people with the money. Like, I know the smooth jazz audience is older, because these are the people who can afford to go on the cruises and go to all these jazz festivals and all of that. And you have to market to these people. If you don't market to them, they're not, But that's also why you see so many non-jazz artists on jazz festivals.
Yeah.
It was just like you was talking, was talking a little bit earlier. I don't remember if we mentioned it, that you was over to Dubai. Been over there a couple of times. Let them know what, how Dubai is.
Well, Dubai is interesting. The first time the first time I went, it was kind of a one-off. So it was like one of the longest travel. I traveled the farthest to play the least. Because it took me essentially 2 days to get there, because I flew from, I forget where I was at, but I had to fly to New York, fly to Germany, then fly to Saudi, and then to Dubai.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, because I don't even think I really realized that we were going to Germany at first. I was like, no, we're just flying to Dubai. And they were like, no, we got to go here to go there. I'm like, isn't Germany on the other side? Like,
I know, right?
Who is flying this way?
Like it's stopped in Africa, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I was like, I'm not good at geography, but how are we getting it? But that gig we played, I think we played 50 minutes, and then we left like 10 hours after that. I'm back on the plane, and I was like, wait, I flew 2 days, 16 hours to get, to play. But I made a whole lot of money, so I'm not, I'm not mad at money.
You did make a whole lot of money.
I made a whole lot of money.
But what does that do to you, if you don't mind me interrupting? After you played 50 minutes, made a whole lot of money, then you come back to reality, and what happens to your psyche after going through that?
I mean, during that period, I was traveling. I haven't been traveling as much the last few years. Like in the 90s, I was gone. I was probably traveling 150, 200 dates a year. Like I was gone all over. It's like, and you just get, anybody who travels, it's traveling for business, and you learn, you have to maintain yourself, which is something that I didn't necessarily, I had to figure that out. So I've done every kind of traveling, except for like private jet. I want to get to that private jet level chef. Oh, we never got that. But
security checkpoint. Oh,
yeah, I've done. Yeah, like no TSA, just walk out and get on this plane. Yes. But I've done, everything from driving my own car 4 or 5 hours to a gig, to being in a van for days at a time with a bunch of cats, to being on a bus, to commercial airline, and it in a way of speaking, it always boils down. I have a friend who says that everything is jobbing, and what he means, and that's what we call like weddings and corporate gigs in Chicago. And his thing is, every time you go play a gig, you basically have to go there. You have to get to the gig. You have to set up equipment, or you have to wait for the equipment to be set up. You sound check, you play the gig, and you go home.
Right.
That's every gig. I don't care who you're playing. So the thing is that you have to learn how to maintain yourself health-wise, mentally. That's why. Yeah, seriously, because it can be lonely and depressive. You got those 2 hours or whatever time you have on stage, and that you have to learn how to reconcile that. And for me, it was like when I got a little older, like how to be an actual real person, like have a life, have a home, live somewhere, and even now it's me relaxed. Like I have to learn how to relax and go. The now famous Kelly, since everybody knows Kelly on the chat. I'm looking at the chat, and people are talking to Kelly more than me. But we went to go see Robert Glasper a few weeks ago, and he was here in Chicago at City Winery. I had never been in City Winery and sat in the audience. It's been here for a few years. I had never sat in the audience. It was a whole different perspective. I was like, wow, it's nice.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. It's like, and that's something I used to hang out a lot, but now it is like go somewhere and like go on vacation just to go.
Yeah.
Because I've been a lot of places, but I haven't seen anything.
Right.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what I was meaning is that I know it happened to me when you leave your city and you go play somewhere else and you get treated well, you get paid well, and then you come back and you go, you want me to do what?
Look, I will never forget. I was working with Tim Cunningham. This is when I first started working with him. So this was probably in '94. No, this was in '96 because it was the Olympic year. And we did the Cincinnati Jazz Fest. So, that's this huge show. 60,000 people.
Right. That's a lot.
It was because it was so many, you can't even, it's like, man, there's a lot of people here. Then we did that gig. We did another couple of gigs, one in a row. I come home. I used to play at a place called the Cotton Club every Monday. I came home to play my gig, and the manager was yelling at us about walking in through the wrong door. And I'm kind of looking at him like, man, I just got through playing for 60,000.
See what I mean?
And I've had that, but I've had that experience. You know, that's why it doesn't really faze me anymore, because I've had that experience. You know, you go play a wedding, they're mad at you for asking for a glass of water.
Yeah.
You go play with artists, everybody's like, "Oh, you're great," and then, that's why I like when people walk up to me after gigs. I don't really, I take it seriously because they actually mean it. Mm-hmm. But I don't bank on that for my own self-esteem, because they might walk up and say you're terrible. You know, so you balance. The middle path is the best. You know?
Yeah.
Yep, you're right. WHYY. He said a prophet in his own town. A prophet in his own town. If y'all know that scripture, what he's talking about.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it's true, and I feel you, because you get treated well, and you go and you come back, you're going, and then get upset with you when you respectfully ask to be respected.
Mm. Well,
makes sense.
One of the things about
you have to teach people how to treat you, but some people don't want to be taught.
No, and one of the things about living in Chicago is that Chicago musicians are everywhere. Like we either just about every major tour, every record, you're gonna have somebody with a Chicago connection, and either they're from here, they started out here, but we have a lot of guys who live right here in Chicago, and of course you're going to play around town, and that's when it becomes really weird sometimes, because you know, I just came off tour and now you're going to argue with me about money? Like, you know, because to them, you're still a local artist.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
And even, you know, Elisa Peoples, Yarborough and Peoples, they get the same thing, and they were top 40. They're going on these Tom Joyner cruise things. They got an agent. They go all over the place, but they cannot get that respect here locally.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, well, you know, so most of the shows that I do locally are private, and I'm grateful for that. Thank God for that. So I'm not complaining, trust me. And obviously with other bands as well, but it's really tough to teach people, you know, why we charge. And then you'll have those musicians, they'll post, "Oh, I got a job. I just do it as a hobby." And I want so badly to say, you know, what do you do for a living? Because I'm going to go do that for free. So you can lose your job. I'll just tell them, no, I can do it for free. So they don't understand that's what they're saying. Oh, I don't charge you the money because I got a job. But, you know, that's not a cool thing to say, because I can go to your work, what you get paid to do. I'll do it for free and see how that makes you feel.
No, I mean, I have the utmost respect for people who are bivocational. If you can maintain a full-time music career, because I know a bunch of people who they are they're high-level musicians, they're educated, they play at a high level, but they also have another career, and I respect those people, because that's a lot. That's a lot. Yes. Like to practice and be able to like hit that standard. But
there it goes again.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, you got that second job, so you can still maintain your household and eat.
Trust me. I've driven some Lyft and done some other things. I have no issue with, you know, it's slow right now, so I might be out of my car later today. Who knows? But you know, but yeah, because I mean, it's hard to be creative when you're starving. And you don't have any lights, and you know, but then also there are other things as an artist you can do. Like I said, I work as a teacher, as a performing artist with a cultural enrichment program. There are other things that you can do that are all based on music, and it's just a matter of time, you know, figuring out how to do all of these things at a high level.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just blessed I have a supportive husband. You know.
That's a nice ring. I see that ring blinking. No, and I think that the supportive partners are very important.
Very.
You know, because they have to put up with the moodiness and what you mad at, and,
right?
You know.
And I think what's good about it is you definitely got a trust factor there. you know,
Yeah.
to versus.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Speaking of trust factors, you know, Gary brought it up, and that's something we talk about often behind the scenes. Have there been in your musical career any concerns or issues about trust in the music industry?
So
We only have 10 minutes. No, I'm just
right.
That's a whole podcast.
Oh man, it's a whole nother show.
I have managed to make it through this entire podcast without cussing. And I'm using college words and SAT words that I learned in school. So I'm gonna try to maintain for the last few minutes. It's a part of the business. I always say that I love the creative part of being a musician. I love the relationships you build with people through music. I hate the music business because the music business, it's no different than other businesses, but it is different than other businesses. So, because it's unique unto itself. One of the things that I have never done is I have never been a person who will do anything to make it. I will not knowingly cheat, undercut, finesse. I never have. I never will. I'm not built that way. My father used to always tell me in his West Memphis, Arkansas way that the one thing that people cannot take from you that you have to give away is your integrity. So he used different words, but and I can't cuss, but he drummed that. That was always, so I have like a moral compass that might have cost me sometimes, because there are some times when I could have, acted like I don't know something or, made some moves. And I'm not perfect. I've done some stuff that, I might have made some decisions, but I immediately saw what happens when you go down a certain path. And it never works out.
Yeah.
It doesn't. At least you learn, though.
You learn. We're in a business that's built on relationships.
Yeah.
And it's not just who you know, it's what this person that you know thinks about you.
Right.
I mean, I know some of everybody, and I know I'm realistic enough to know that there's a bunch of great bass players out there. There's a bunch of great producers out there. A whole bunch. I'm not special, And
somebody might disagree, right, Kelly?
Kelly's famous. Kelly is now famous. But the thing about it is that I understand, because it's been some dirty deeds. I've witnessed some stuff. I won't go into it, but I've witnessed some stuff. I witnessed some stuff recently that I'm just like, how do you sleep? But you know how some people are. Their attitude is, in this moment that I'm living, I want this, and I'll do anything to get it. But it always comes around in a circle. And whatever your spiritual beliefs are, what you sow, you will reap.
You will reap what you sow.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Hell, I haven't been to Bible class, but but no, and so that's yeah. So to answer your question, oh yes.
I think there's not one musician, artist that has not experienced a situation. I mean, even in a gospel concert situation.
Let me tell you, I started out playing gospel. I've dabbled in gospel, and I'm not going to trash the industry, but some of the, trust me, people who smoke weed and drink and do cocaine and all those other stuff, I found some of them to be much more trustworthy and straightforward.
And the gospel's gonna be full of shit.
Exactly. I told somebody I'd rather go talk to the wino on the corner in the hood.
Right. I mean, but it's all part of the thing. Like I said, going back to Max's question about black classical music, jazz being black classical music, It started up in the spot.
Right.
But, you know, you put a bow tie. They were clean. They had on cool clothes and stuff like that. But they were up in the spot. They were drinking and partying. And, you know, that's the part of our society. People like to, but like I said, when you're trying to elevate something to high art because you think that gives it legitimacy, that's we're going to do it at Symphony Hall. And I'm like, we was in the juke joint.
Now, I have, he's gone now. My uncle in Kansas City, man, we go out and have dinner, go to a jazz. He's having him a drink, you know. So he's out there enjoying himself, and he's a preacher.
Oh, I know several pastors who they hang out.
They hang out.
They hang out. I work with somebody now. Like I gig with somebody. He's a whole preacher. He got a whole church. Got a whole church. But on Saturday night, he's singing Motown tunes with a group. You know, and to me, that's more authentic. I want somebody who
there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all.
You need to connect with Jerry B, Jere, the letter B. He's doing some great things, and he just retired, if you will, as a pastor of his church, and he's in music full time. And he has a program to help artists 50 years and older to teach them how. You already know that, but he has a program for 50 and older who want to get started in the music industry. I'm thinking about it myself, because there's always something you can learn.
Well, especially now, the industry has changed so much
very much
in
so.
the last 10 years, because I think I just remembered that it was 2023 the other day. But I was like, wait a minute, where's my flying car? And, you know,
right.
watching Star Trek, I'm like, wait, this is supposed to be happening now. But just the things in the industry, the fact that I have become an artist and I did all of this on my computer and my iPad, and I did down to the artwork that I do myself, you know, just because I wanted to know how to do it, and I could pay other people to do it, but I can do it too.
Right.
And the mixing and mastering, I mean, I can go into a traditional studio and record, but the fact that I have tools sitting right here, y'all can't see all the stuff, but you know, I have tools sitting right here. That's amazing. You know, so that's what you got to do. You know, as a person, you have to just constantly. I might not know how to use everything on my phone, but I know how to use everything in the studio.
In time, my brother.
I buy stuff and I go, okay, I buy it, and just the other day I figured out how to manipulate the audio plugins into a MIDI so I can adjust it to my liking, if you will. I didn't even know I could do that. I just found out, and I've had the software for a few years.
On one of the tunes that we're playing, it was one of the tunes that Gary played. I forget on Ian's Dance.
Oh yeah.
One of the sounds you hear is me learning that I could change audio into MIDI.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And so the melody is following when I'm playing on bass, because I learned how to do that day, and I've been dealing with the software for 20 years. And I was like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
So bad. I didn't know. And what I said, I figured something out, and I go back and, how did I do that? I forget how I did it. So
Write it down.
Yeah.
I sometimes do, but if it's on YouTube, I don't write it down. I just go back to the YouTube video.
Right, and YouTube is something that I want to use more of. I've done product demonstrations for some of the companies that I work with, but I want to get more into that, because like we were saying, that's a lane. That's actually something you could do. I just like the Instagram and TikTok thing. That's just weird to me, because they have to be viable on that. You have to make videos almost every day. And I can't, you know. But the videos are still.
They ain't got a damn thing to do. That's all they gonna do.
Yeah, well, I went to a panel they had a panel discussion for a bass forum here in Chicago, and they had a bunch of digital media influencers. So I learned a lot, and because I realized, I'm like, wait, these videos are like 15 seconds long.
Yeah.
And you can make a 15 to 20 second video because that's the time of engagement. But they're literally doing it every day. And I'm like, well, when do you write a song? Like, y'all ain't wrote a whole song.
It's not as hard as you think, because you can put 10, 15-minute videos daily promoting your brand.
Right.
The app that helps you do that, and it could be effective, certain moves, boom, 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 and you're done. You just need to have a lot of content in your gallery on your phone to choose from. So it's not, so people have figured out, I'm the person that just keeps pressing buttons until I figure something out. And I go, yeah, this is pretty cool. I could use that. I can sit, I have myself sliding in the ocean with playing my saxophone. It's just an app.
It's a bunch of stuff. I mean, you know, so it in many ways it's a great time to be an artist because there's so many things available.
Oh yeah, it is. It
really like I said, it's just getting the music out to people and getting them to engage.
But I would explore TikTok. Be patient with it. It's really not a bad platform.
It's like this fella that's sitting there and moderating us. Shit. The boy's a genius.
Okay.
Who's he talking about?
Stuff out.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually getting somebody a compliment. I know that was hard to imagine.
He cut out what
my younger kids are all into TikTok. So that I made a TikTok promo video for actually my latest single, and my daughter was just like, "Is that all you gonna do?" That's it, huh? Okay, Daddy. I was like, "Could you share it?" And she's like, "I'm not sharing this." I was like, "Wow."
Oh no.
She's got an image in her brand. She's like, "No."
Right. I was like, "Okay, Lo."
Well,
but you got a song named after.
Well, before our time wraps up on this, because it's getting close, we only got about 7 minutes or 7 or 8 minutes. So, Will, before we do get out of here, please let everybody know where they can go and follow you. And
okay, so my website is willgroove2, which is WILLGROOVE, the number 2.com.
Okay.
And that kind of covers all things Will Howard. So, and then it's Will Groove 2 on Instagram, Will Howard on Facebook, Will Groove 2 Productions on Facebook too. I don't use that page that much. And I think that's all my socials that I actually use. I have a TikTok. I think it's Will Groove 2 on TikTok. I gotta look. I don't use it, but I'm gonna be doing more in that space, you know. Oddly Reed has a new project coming out that I'm on. I don't know how many songs I'm on, but I know I'm on one. I know I'm on at least one or two. And I think I played bass and I did some other stuff on a lot of his stuff. Sam Hankins, I played on a bunch of his stuff. I've also mixed and mastered some of his stuff. And just a bunch of artists. I'm collaborating with a bunch of different people. I'm going to do, I think in 2023, most of the music that I've released under my own name has been instrumental. In 2023, we're going to start adding vocals. So I'm dealing with like I had so many vocalist friends, great people that I worked with. But we're also going to kind of go into like that jazz hip hop space. So there's going to be some rock, there's going to be some lyricism, and
lyricism. I like that.
Yeah. We're going to try to do that, just hitting all the bases. Then
very cool.
I'm just gigging with people. So, working and hopefully doing some more live gigs with my band.
Yes.
Sweet. Yeah. And when is your next live performance?
I'm playing next Friday.
Next Friday?
In Chicago?
In Chicago. Believe it or not, a major gig for us here in Chicago is playing in the grocery store at Mariano's. There's a grocery store chain, and they have a commitment to live music. So every Friday, at all of their locations, they have live bands.
I love it.
And and people laugh about it. I'm like, do you know that it's a great gig? Because you
Don't
know,
laugh.
you know, because they also have a bar and they also have like wine bars.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Come go grocery shopping and
Yeah.
get a glass of wine, eat and shop.
That's awesome, man. I like that.
Yeah.
So
Don't
we just
laugh
kinda-
about it. Laugh at what?
And think about it. I mean, lots of people have to go to the grocery store. They have to go.
Every time I do one of those gigs, it's hilarious of the people I see at the grocery store, like people that I know or know me from doing. I had a lady walking. I was playing a gig there this summer,
Yeah.
and this lady walks in and she's like, "Wait a minute, didn't I just pay $75 to see you play?"
I like it.
She walked by. She came back by. She was looking. She's like, "Didn't you just play at City Winery?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I paid $75 and you up here in the grocery store."
Yeah.
You know, so we just try to keep it moving.
It's pretty good, huh?
It's okay. I usually go shopping. I usually spend too much money going. They need to give us, but I mean, we used to do gigs in Borders bookstores when they have bookstores.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Borders bookstore. There's all kinds of spaces for live music.
Libraries
Oh yeah.
sometimes have.
Library, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They used
So-
to do the Borders thing here too when they used to have it here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Even
Well,
Dallas
man.
Museum of Art.
Yeah, and then like I said, my music, I'll drop the Spotify address and my website in the chat, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm. You can do that.
That's the easiest way of doing
You
it.
can do that
Mhm.
while
Yeah.
we sit up.
Yeah.
I was trying to make a background with it, but it didn't look right. For my Zoom thing, I tried to have the background. I couldn't get it over my head where you could see it. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's my background, the bar.
I'm about to say, you really are at a bar.
It should have
You
been.
just pulling chips out of the air.
That's what I'm saying. Well, it should have been a kitchen.
Yeah.
No, that's why he got. That's why he's like the grocery store. That's great.
That's right. That's right up his alley and aisle down the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Chips right now. I'm sitting here like, soon as you go, run to the store.
And Gary, big old orange chips too.
Oh yeah, there was some big ones, man. There was some big chips.
You do.
Okay, well, man, Will, it's been a pleasure again to have you on the show this time again,
Yes.
and
All right. Well,
we-
thank you for having me.
oh, absolutely, and again, we look forward to the next time you come back because you know this is your home just like everybody else's home. So
Cool, cool.
yeah.
And I definitely will send you guys the new stuff as I'm working on it. So
mhm.
I'm probably going to. I've already put the tracks together, so I'm just getting ready. You know, schedules, people's schedules and stuff. So.
Yeah, very cool.
And getting the money. so go on. Oh, one other thing that I forgot to talk about was my Bandcamp page,
Mhm.
which is willhoward.bandcamp.com.
Okay.
And that has all of my music direct to purchase, so peer point-to-point purchase.
Okay.
So, and I'll put that on there too.
Okay.
And that streaming is cool, but that is the stuff that really helps.
Mhm.
Is because we actually see that money.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and every dollar helps. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good, very good. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap this thing up. Now, before we do, I just want to, again, thank you again, Will. It was a pleasure. Pleasure to have you. Next week, it will be the 14th, so just to put this on your everybody's mind for next week, we have actually two guests next week, but they're actually on two separate shows. Okay, so we're going to do our regular show, which is scheduled during this time frame, which next week on the 14th, which will be featuring our good friend Costella. She's going to be here, and then that evening we're going to come back and do it again with Carlos Camelo. So it's going to be another great one. That'll be in the evening. That's going to be in the 7 p.m. Central time frame, and then of course Costella will be our regular time. So lots of things to look forward for next week's shows. Let's just put it that way. And then again, just want to stab this out there. GHP Radio 24/7 stream is running as we speak. So definitely, if you get time, just go check it out. Lots of music, great music playing over there, and a lot of programming. We're trying to keep that going, and then of course this platform, we're going to continue to do this every week. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in this week. We really do appreciate your support, and please help us spread the word about the new radio stream, GHP Radio. You can go to ghpradio.com, or you can actually go to, if you want to, you can just go to my personal website, garyfuston.com, or ghouseproductions.net. All of those places will take you there. So we try to make it as simple as we can for everybody. But with that said, I want everybody to have a great weekend. Please join us next week here, same place, same time. And I'll just go ahead and pass it over to Joyce and Ray. And again, thank you, Will, for being here with us this week.
All right, thank you.
When you said Ray, he woke up.
Oh man!
Like you said, Gary. Thanks everybody for being here today, whether you're on Facebook Live or watching YouTube. Thanks for being in the chat, and if you're not in the chat, we thank you. But I just want to give a shout out to some of the people that were in the chat.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
I got everybody, and that's Gia, Sissy Gia. How you doing, lady?
Gia.
Yvonne J, Colleen Keithley, or Colleen, Henry Mixon, J.C. Smith, Jessica, all the way from Africa in the house, Darren Jackson, my homie David McLaurin, Audley Reed, Kelly Johnson, K Ward, Jazzy K Ward was in the house, and of course WHY Y. Thank you for being here today and participating in the chat. And then of course we also have Will Howard in the chat. Who is that, y'all? But anyway, but we will see you guys next week. Thank you for being here. Yes. Please check out Will Howard. Follow him on Spotify. Add his music to your playlist, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, all the major digital platforms. But go to his website and Bandcamp and drop $1. Mm-hmm. Where else can you get something for $1 that he spent months writing and producing and arranging? You know, that's a lot of time. So it's a lot less than your cup of coffee at Starbucks.
That's right.
All right. Okay, Ray is on the phone, so we're just gonna close it. Bye, Ray. Bye. Ray, we're gone. Bye. He eats on the air, he answers his phone on the air.
This is Microsoft calling me. Hey, it's our pleasure having you on the show today. And hey, man, look here. Come back real soon, man.
I want to go to Africa.
Well, come on, no. Joyce, I thought she gonna find the website. She got the information.
I put it out there for Darren. You told me to put the name of the festival.
Yeah.
I put it in the chat.
In the chat? Mm-hmm. Well, hey, look here. It's our pleasure having you on the show today. Hey, man, yeah, everybody be safe out there. Stay warm if you can, because it's warm here. Yeah, everything's good.
All right. Okay. All right, everybody. Again, have a great weekend, and we'll see y'all next week. Take care.
Peace.
Are you still there?
Thank you.